Hi, welcome everyone. This is Andrew Dailey of MGI Research, and this session is giving CFOs full transparency into customer contracts. I'm joined here with two great experts and panelists from around the world, Heikki Hirvensalo and Paul Vemer. Heikki is a senior consultant at GoodSign, which is a pricing, billing, and monetization platform company based in Helsinki. And Paul is a founder of PossibilIT.
Correct.
Yeah, which is now part of 4NG and a partner of GoodSign. And Paul, I must say, is one of the most experienced systems integrators and consultants when it comes to complex monetization projects in Europe. So very delighted to have both of you guys here. In this conversation, we're going to talk about really what does it take to transform an established business and move that business into an as-a-service kind of business model. And then we'll talk about, as the title implies, what does it really take to get visibility from a CFO's point of view into customer contracts. So Heikki, let's start with you, kind of from the GoodSign point of view. What does it first take if we talk about taking an established business? What are some of the unique challenges to move that into an as-a-service business?
Well, first of all, we believe that this transformation of businesses into as-a-service business is a true mega trend. And both subscriptions and different types of pay-per-use services are growing rapidly at the moment, as we see in many industries. But as you said, there are challenges, and transforming a company that already has gained some ground into a successful and scalable as-a-service business company, it's not that easy as it might sound. And based on our experience, the main challenges that companies struggle with are related to implementing such a contract to cash process that can handle both legacy contracts as well as then some more modern and complex monetization models. That's what we have found as the biggest challenge.
And Paul, you've worked with some of the really large European brand names. What have the experiences been that you've seen? What are some of the lessons that you would share?
Well, I agree with Heikki. It's challenging to implement a new system, and mainly I'm not so worried about the technology, because I think that's most of the time the minor issue. It's the change what people have to go through, because they're not used to selling services on a subscription base. And so we're looking at the contracts from a bit high over, looking at what you really need and what's currently in place, what we have to get into the system, and later on talk with the customer about their future services, what they want to offer. And these are the two main requirements for the transformation. So it's challenging, but that's the fun part, because we're helping the customer.
Well, so let's drill down. What are some more, be a little more specific. What are some more of those challenges when you get into pricing, billing exceptions? What are some of those things that you see?
Well, the hard thing is to decide what kind of specific pricing and billing expectations they have. We've been talking to a customer lately that wants to have direct connections with devices, and then the specific advantages of GoodSign comes along, because it's not only selling it on a monthly basis, but you want to have the usage in place as well. And most of the time, you want to start off with a base of saying you get the services, you need at least some commitment from the client. And these three combinations together, that's the most challenging part of the implementation to get that sorted. And sometimes we need to take the customer to simplify some of their products and how they offer that to their customers.
So Heikki, it sounds like the real challenge is you've got to take the existing set of contracts and relationships and pricing models, and then add to that any kind of new model as well, and go through the change management that's involved around that. Heikki, do you want to add to that at all? What do you guys see?
Well, we have similar observations, what Paul just told us, and our customers, for example, have typically got into a situation where they have quite a wide range of service contract terms. So, and in case they have already a large contract base, a lot of legacy contracts, the more they naturally then have customer-specific pricing logics and invoicing terms, etc. So I agree with Paul that it's typical that customers might want to get started with a more simple monthly, or get started, let's say, small, but then at the end of the day, they have typically quite wide range of different types of services and these customer specifics, and those are the exceptions that really make it challenging for them in their current state to manage the pricing, billing, and to meet the requirements, and that is what we see as the notorious part here, the exceptions. But in addition, what we also see, we see a rising demand for ability to quickly experiment and try out and some new pricing models or earning logics with, for example, related to new business initiatives, and that kind of flexibility is also something that our customers are needing and asking for more and more. And therefore, I believe that in case established companies truly want to transform into a successful as a service business, what they need is a solution that can capture and digitalize the entire spectrum of their earning logics, and that way support their existing business today and then the future models tomorrow, so to say, including those necessary exceptions what they have. But I agree also with Paul that of course companies need to be bold, brave enough to draw the line somewhere. So it's always easier to scale in case you have a harmonized offering that you offer.
Yeah, you talk about some of the exceptions, and we talk about at MGI, we talk about moving from physical products to selling things as a service. One of those exceptions that often gets overlooked are professional services and services contracts of all types. Paul, I know you have experience with helping people not just on their physical goods or their digital goods, but also with the services contracts specifically. Any thoughts around those?
Yeah, it starts in the beginning with because they want to make a change and introduce new services to their customers. They kept it in different systems, like Excel and like in their CRM, and they're trying to do it in their ERP, but then they got stuck at the moment. It gets a little bit successful. So we're normally when we come in, this is the headache they have, and we have to help them to sort things out and to structure that part a bit. So it's and the positive part of when you look at systems like GoodSign, it's organized in the same manner. So you have to drill your customer a little bit in this direction, saying we're going to put a blueprint on the products you have, so that we're able to get this a blueprint, or we can copy and later on to other products as well. So that's part what we normally this takes some guidance and some talking before we get this change sorted. But at the end of the day, we get this thing going because they see the advantages, and things are going really automatically then. So the customer comes online, takes want to change their current subscriptions and can expand it and change it, and the billing is something what's easily following that part.
How do you, in these projects, there's always this desire to automate everything.
Yeah.
But that's very difficult because in the current environment, there's often a lot of semi-manual process. There's a lot of Excel, as you mentioned, spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And there's this revenue leakage that occurs naturally because of those semi-manual or manual processes. Heikki, how do you guys deal with that? How do you pick up those pieces of revenue leakage that need to be automated and addressed and plugged?
Well, our approach in GoodSign to tackle this, I've been calling it a paradox of simultaneous scalability and flexibility, is that we have developed so-called contract line profiles in our software. We offer both ready-made, out-of-the-box contract line profiles as well as custom profiles. And the basic idea behind that is that our customers get a turnkey solution that responds to the most typical service pricing and billing requirements through this turnkey, through this, what I said, these ready-made contract line profiles. And then yet we offer in addition the custom profiles, which then enable basically unlimited configurability to respond to the more complex and unique earning logics that our customers have. So we are not tying them into a kind of a standard out-of-the-box data model, but we complement it with also this custom profiles, which are more configurable and basically, like said, then allow any type of business logics to be automated what comes to pricing and billing. And this is what we have quite recently developed, and with this approach, we believe we can provide a solution to both the 80 and 20, if we use that common 80-20 rule as a benchmark or reference here. And I personally am a huge fan of this contract line profile approach that we've taken, and I'm also happy to see that our customers, they also find it very welcoming, and it makes a world of difference to them how easy it is to both manage the let's say more traditional recurring service business and pricing models with the ready-made profiles, and then also to implement these custom contract line profiles where needed.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because for a lot of companies, it's those 20% of agreements where all the profit is and where the most important customer relationships are. And it's always a challenge when you go through these exercises to provide the CFO with the right level of visibility into those very specific agreements, because that's where the money is, right? Paul, what do you see in terms of trying to move, automate the 80%, but then also make sure that you get the visibility and automation around all those, that 20% that where the margin is in your business?
Yeah, you mentioned the leakage, and therefore I'm a strong believer that hooking up the CRM together with the billing part is getting much of this leakage out of the way, because you're during the negotiations, and you've got products on top of CRM like CPQ. It's always a man's business, it's human business. You talk with the customer, and there is just a little bit of discount added, and then this gets discussed one-on-one, but it's difficult to put that into a system. I strongly believe when you push and your whole product portfolio via CRM, pre-configured, like Heikki mentioned, as standards towards your customer, you avoid this leakage enormously, and you get a lot of benefits, and also, quite frankly, is a kind of a standardization in your back office. What gets not only CRM, but also towards your billing, a better view on your turnover and your margins. And then you can really, there is a lot of gaining to do with automation on this part. We have I can have a handful of examples where people are pushing more and more responsibility to their customers, handling their subscriptions. Yeah, it's a little bit letting go of control, but at the end of the day, the customer decides what he wants to buy from you. So you have to give them the responsibility to make changes, to upsell, and you have to be very good in what you offer. So if you don't provide a good service, a good product, you'll be in trouble in the near future. So if you get things organized, you can automate 95% of your whole back office.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost out of time here, but Heikki, any closing thoughts you want to share?
As the final point, I kind of continue from what Paul said, and it's very important that what you have sold to the customer, you really deliver, and then your invoices are aligned with what you have sold. And therefore, some have asked whether GoodSign is an ERP, and our response is that we consider GoodSign more of it's a pricing and billing solution that complements and works hand in hand with ERP, as well as integrates with CRM and CPQ. So what Paul, I agree what Paul said, that GoodSign provides a central solution where you basically can digitalize and manage the financial aspects of your service contracts, the services, pricing, customer specific exceptions, billing schedules, etc. And at the same time, that then provides the visibility to the finance department and CFO, transparency to the contract financials and business performance, as well as the single source of truth to underlying usage and other event data details that are then the basis for your service billing.
Yeah, great. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Heikki, Paul,
Thank you.
appreciate your time. And I'd welcome everyone. They can reach you guys through the Good Sign booth, through the networking in the platform. You guys are available and are great resources to talk through a lot of these difficult issues and many others. So with that, thanks everyone, and thanks for this session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.